I spend quite a lot of time in these video blogs talking about things that I think candidates could and should do better. Sometimes I do touch upon what I think the employers could and should do better. This is definitely one of those sessions. I'm going to talk about what's called in recruitment terms the job briefing. Now, what that means is when an employer talks to, whether it's an internal recruiter or an external third-party recruiter like myself, about the job that they're looking to fill and the candidate or the perception around what that candidate should be like. So that will be their skills, their backgrounds, their personality, etc., etc. Now, this job briefing is often done in a fairly cavalier fashion, I would have to say. And given that companies are always at pains to stress just how important recruitment and retention of great staff is, and clearly it is, it does seem interesting that there's often this really kind of quite slapdash approach. It could be a very quick conversation, perhaps on the phone with someone like me, and they go, "Oh, Mark, but you know the kind of thing we're looking for. You know the sort of person we're after. Just go and get us one of those." Or I could get like an email that's maybe got 2 or 3 lines on it like that, which again is really, really skimpy on detail. Now, this is often done, I think, with reasonable intentions, and it's often wrapped in sort of language which is actually quite flattering for someone like me, which is where you are told by this company, by this hiring manager, that, "Oh, but Mark, you're an expert, you know what we're like, you know what the kind of person we're after, just go and get us someone like that, you'll be fine." So it's done in a way that's often designed to kind of blow smoke up my proverbial, and I'm not suggesting it's done in a sinister way. It's just the fact of everyone's in a rush. Let's just quickly tell Mark what we want to do, and away we go. We move on to something else. The problem with this, of course, is that there's no real explanation of any real subtleties or nuance. It's all very, very bare bones. There may be like a job title. There may be like a really quick explanation of the kind of thing this job does. There may be like one line around sort of salary and how flexible that could be. So, yes, it can be done, and I do it a lot, but really it can be done so much better. And I think companies, and therefore individuals, hiring managers, who are willing and able to spend a little bit of time talking to someone in a bit of detail about what they want, will definitely get the reward and the return on that invested time. If you give a bit more colour, a bit more human intelligence around the bare bones of the job description or the job title, you will allow people, in my case me, to find out a lot more about what you really want and what the key issues are and where there may be some compromises and where we could have some room for manoeuvre, or if they haven't got this but they've got this could still work. These kind of more subtle back and forth discussions are not feasible in a kind of email exchange. And they're certainly not feasible if it's like a 3-second conversation that's sort of over before it starts. So employers, if you are genuinely committed to finding great people, and I'm clear that you are, and of course you are, please just spend a little bit of time briefing whoever's involved, internal or external, to make sure that he or she knows exactly what you're after in a much more subtle and detailed fashion. Thanks very much. It will help all of us, including you guys, most importantly. Cheers.